Junkyard Wars, back on your telly Monday.
Wheelchair basketball. It's fast, furious, entertaining, and our national men's team, the Rollers, just happen to be the very best in the world. They won gold at the Paralympic Games in Beijing last year. They've been unbeaten since that time, and they were dominant when we last saw them in Australia at the Rollers World Challenge in July. ABC Grandstand is now joining you from the Dandenong Basketball Stadium, where the Australians are taking on 6 of the very best nations in Asia to see who will earn the right to qualify for the Birmingham World Championships in 2010. Hello everyone and welcome to Grandstand's coverage of the Asia-Oceania Championship in wheelchair basketball. We're going to be joining you each night this week as Australia take on Kuwait, Japan, Korea and China in the original round-robin matches. And then if Australia is successful in enough of those matches, they will be taking the court in the final on ABC2, live on Saturday, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Joining me to bring you all the action from this crucial qualification tournament before the World Championships next year is two-time Paralympian, I should say, and a gold medalist in Beijing last year, Brendan Dowler. Brendan, welcome. It's great to have you with us.
Thanks very much, Darren, and great to be here and great to watch the Rollers on home soil as they look to qualify for the World Championships.
Well, Brendan, it's going to be fantastic, isn't it? And as you say, Australia's never won a World Championship gold medal. We won the bronze medal at the last World Championships in 2006. But this is a real opportunity for the Aussies to go two steps further next time.
It sure is. They're currently ranked first in the world after winning that gold medal in Beijing, and they're looking to maintain that dominance.
Well, it's a new look Australian team that's stepping out or taking the court in this tournament. There's a bit of a mix of players that the coaching staff, in particular Ben Ettridge, has actually selected. This man, Bill Latham, is a rising star of the team.
Young Bill, it's hard to believe he's still a teenager. He's a real star of the future. He'll be one of the mainstays of the Australian team going forward.
Yeah, 19 years old, and he's a 4-point player, which means we're going to look to Bill to actually score a lot, hopefully, and grab a few rebounds. One player who won't be doing quite so much of that, but his role in the team is equally as critical, is Michael Hartnett.
Mikey Lionheart Hartnett, as I like to call him. A lot of what Mikey does doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheets, but certainly he's an integral part of the team, creates a lot of things for his other teammates, and also a very tenacious defender.
One player who's similar to Michael Hartnett is a low point classification, and we'll go through the classification system in a little bit more detail later on, is Eric Horry. He's a 2-pointer, but as of yesterday, he was a 2.5-pointer.
That's right, he was, and that's very good news for Eric, and it's great news for the Australian team.
Well, it's going to be a really interesting tournament. The Australians starting off with this match against Kuwait, a match that they are favoured to win, but we'll see how it pans out over the next hour and a half or so. Well, one person who is very excited to be here, and she was with us back in July when Australia took all before them in the Rollers World Challenge up in Sydney, is Olivia McGrath. Olivia, welcome. You're pretty excited about this Asia-Oceania Championships, aren't you?
Yes, I'm really excited, Darren. I think it's going to be a fantastic week of wheelchair basketball, and of course it's always great to see the Aussie Rollers in action. We, of course, should also say congratulations to Coach Ben Ettridge and his team after they were recently named Best Team Performance in 2008 by the International Paralympic Committee, and of course for that fantastic gold medal performance at the Beijing Paralympics.
So the Australians are making their way out onto the court. The starting five for the Aussies: Justin Eveson, Michael Hartnett, Grant Meisen's back on court after he's sitting in your chair last time, Brendan. Eric Horry on debut, and Brad Ness.
Great to see Eric get a start here today. A rookie looking to make his mark and try and gain that position for the World Championships next year.
Whilst for the Kuwaitis, they're starting with Nizar Mohammed, Fahad El-Dusiri, Yusuf Nazir, Atef El-Dusiri, and also Al-Adwani, Hamad Al-Adwani. And we don't know a great deal about the Kuwaiti team, Brendan, but they're obviously going to come out and do their best. They're not in the top. They're certainly not in the top rank. They've never made a World Championship or Olympic Games before. No, we don't know a whole lot about them, but they'll come out full of fire, no doubt. So there are the Aussies. Eric Horry is the man with the ink just on the right shoulder. That's pretty impressive. And as we said, on debut, he has his 30th birthday is coming up on Saturday. So he's obviously going to be very excited about playing for Australia. This is going to be a great moment for him. Yes, Eric's out there with 4 stalwarts of the Australian team. And I'm sure that he'll contribute very well there. But he's got 4 old heads around him, so I'm sure that they'll start off very strong. Coach will really be looking for a strong start here, set the tone, set the bar high for this game and indeed the whole tournament. So we're all ready to go here. The opening action from the Dandenong Basketball Stadium. The Asia Oceania Championships for 2009. Australia taking on Kuwait. It's going to be Mohammed with Brad Ness to contest the tip. And the Australians through Justin Eveson and down the court. We can see Meisens back-picking there. It's Grant Meisens up the court as well now, guarding Nazir. They've got to get it over in 8 seconds. A bit of a tentative start here from the Kuwaitis. The Australians putting a bit of pressure on there. Oh, and the long shot is good from Nazir. Yusuf Nazir, 43 years of age. Not the start Australia we're looking for. It rattled its way down. There is Nazir. Meisens, lob pass in towards Eveson. He'll shoot the bonus after collecting the personal foul. Justin under the basket there, he's money. He is such an imposing presence inside, isn't he, Brendan? He sure is. That's why he's one of the best players in the world, Justin. Lots of talent, and I'll put my money on him to make this free throw too. He's just known as the winner. Oh, Justin. And the commentator's curse, it strikes early, Brendan. Happens to us all the time. Here's Meisens. Will he shoot it from the perimeter? He ignores it. Ness sets the screen, and there's a holding foul called on Fahad El-Dusiri. Yeah, locking his chair in against Brad there. That's not allowed. So we should say, for those that are relatively new to the sport of wheelchair basketball, that most of the rules are the same as basketball played by able-bodied players. There's a 24-second shot clock in operation. Justin Eveson camped out inside the keyway. He can't be there for longer than 3 seconds because that's against the rules. But he did well enough there. Got the pass from Hartnett, the assist to the number 8, and the basket. Grant Meisens also played a great role there. Set a nice seal to get Justin on the basket. And he's done brilliantly again there, Brendan. He has trapped El-Dusiri at half court, and he's forced an over and back violation against the Kuwaitis. It's a new look Grant with a full beard. Don't know what's going on there, but it's sure paying dividends for him. Yes, we might come back to that a little bit later in the evening. Eveson into Ness. They are going to be so difficult for the Kuwaitis to control, those 2 big guys. They sure will be. And again, Eric Horry worked very well with Brad Ness to get him under the basket there. So that basket's half Eric's. Well done, rookie. Nazir, the man who shot the 3-point basket a few minutes ago. It's the only scorer of the game for Kuwait. Nazir again. Misfires. Meisens with the rebound. Quick outlet. It's 3-on-2 now. Eveson, a little bit too quick for Al-Adwani, and a great assist pass into Hartnett. If he can make it count, he does. Nice finish, Mikey Hartnett. Australia have scored the last 8 points of the game. Excellent team play there from Eveson. That's what the Australians can do. And Ness taps the ball away. He couldn't chase it down. It's going to be a Kuwait ball from the side. The Australian defence has extended a little bit there, making a bit of pressure on the Kuwaitis. Mikey Hartnett on the ball. Yes, he's just pressuring Al-Adwani. Lob pass over to Nazir. And there's the shot clock gone off. So 24-second violation for the Kuwaitis. They've only had the 2 field goal attempts. They've had 2 turnovers as well. The Australians yet to throw away the ball. They've got 8 points. All of them have come from layups so far.
they're the shots you want to take. High percentage shots, that's what the Australians will be working for.
Meisens was left wide open at the free throw line. Eveson, oh, and another layup here for Horry. His first points for Australia.
He'll remember that basket as long as he lives. First basket for the rookie. Congratulations, Eric.
He's, as we say, 29 years old at the moment, rising 30. He plays for the Brisbane Spinning Bullets in the National Wheelchair Basketball League as El Dusseri just got a little bit out of control there. Now Nazir.
The Australians playing man-on-man defence there. You can see they're matching up, chair on chair, making it very difficult for the Kuwaitis to get a shot away.
Yeah, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Nazir gets it into El Dusseri, and there's another turnover.
Exactly what the Australians will be looking for now. After that first basket, has been all Australia.
Meisens just waltzes through the key.
Coast to Grant there. Well done.
Australia scored the last 12 points. Nazir, shooters the call from the Australian bench and a travelling violation called. Brendan, you just explain to us the rules as far as dribbling the ball, and that was a travelling violation, so he obviously went too far without dribbling the basketball.
Yes, you're allowed to touch the wheels twice before you need to bounce it or pass it or shoot it again, so that player obviously touched his wheels 3 times.
Eveson can't get it to go.
I'm not saying anything about these free throws.
No, it might be best to keep quiet, I think, Brendan, after your inauspicious beginning. Justin Eveson will certainly be after you if you put the Mozzer on him. A couple of substitutions for the Kuwaitis. They're only playing with 9 players in this tournament, Kuwait. Australia have got a full squad of 12, as do most other nations. There's the Aussie coach, Ben Ettridge. Ben, as he did back in July at the Rollers World Challenge, has agreed to be mic'd up, and so we'll be able to have a chat to Ben throughout the game, throughout the week, in fact. Which will be good to get a bit of an insight into what's going through his mind as he looks to steer Australia towards this World Championship tournament next year. As Eveson will be disappointed with 1 of 2, but Australia lead by 10. Meisens with the steal. It was a loose pass there, came from Al Fadwi. Eveson into Ness. Reverse layup is too good.
The Aussies in broken play, they're just much too good, much too fast, and kick the ball up the floor and convert that. Well done.
15-3. Dynamite start from the Aussies, looking to send a message to the rest of the competition in this opening match. Here's Alenzi. Got it over to Al Fadli. Just playing a little 2-man game. Now Nazir gets involved with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Big pass, long pass over to Mohammed. The basket will not count. I think it was a 3-second in the key call.
I believe it was. There's not much structure to the Kuwaiti offence at the moment, but having said that, the Australians aren't letting them into much structure.
There's a lot of action off the ball. You can see here at half court, Hartnett and Ness tangling with a couple of the Kuwaitis. It's one of the features of wheelchair basketball, isn't it, Brennan? You've got to play the entire length of the court all of the time, because once position is lost, it's extremely hard to regain that. Yeah,
that's the key word, position. You need position on your opposition, whether that's offence or defence. And from there, you're in a good position to get what you want out of it.
Here's Eveson. Obviously, one of the better players, Brendan, are the quicker movers and the more agile in their chairs. That's one of the key things. And we just saw a brilliant example of it there with Justin Eveson backing down and then spinning around as we watch it on the replay. Yeah, these players work on court for hours and days and weeks on end on their chair skills to get in the right place at the right time. It's very, very lonely sometimes on the training court, but here you can see it on the court and pays dividends. Offensive foul called. It has been called on Eric Horry. Brad Ness can't believe it. But there aren't too many headaches for the Australians in the opening quarter so far. We've travelled just over 5 minutes, just over halfway through the opening term. And Australia leads 17-3. They've scored the last 17 points after Kuwait registered the first basket of the game to Nazir, a 3-point basket. And as a timeout's called, we are going to head into the Australian huddle to listen to Coach Ben Ettridge. It might be a little bit difficult for us to go into the Kuwaiti huddle. The language is going to be spoken in there, but we have an interpreter on standby. We might see if we can get some idea of what's happening at the Kuwaiti end of the court throughout the evening. But certainly for this initial time anyway, we are going to listen to the Australians as they form a circle around their coach, Ben Ettridge.
Hey, we got good pressure up the floor, so let's make our home about 2 chair lengths above. Don't give them that in-between pass. So we're allowing Grant stopping the ball. They're not throwing to Justin. They're getting that next one just over halfway. So you, 1 or 2 of you can come up a little bit higher and pressure that next one over. Offense, great patience, way to work with each other, all right? Push them patience, let's go. 1, 2, 3, rollers.
Ben Ettridge just wanting to keep the pressure on the Kuwaitis, Brendan, of course.
Yes, a couple of key words there at the end. Push, then patience. So work hard and then wait. And you've created something by pushing hard, so let's see what you can get out of that.
Australia 17, Kuwait 3. Halfway through the opening quarter here at Dandenong. Steal for Horry. Ness over to Eveson. 2 on 2. Eveson taking on the oldest man in the tournament, Nizar Mohammed. Mohammed challenges him and he's called for the foul. Born in January 1965. He's 44 years old, Nizar Mohammed. And in fact, they're the oldest team in the tournament by some distance, Kuwait. They've got an average age of just under 35. And that includes a 15-year-old, would you believe, who's taking the court. Hasn't seen the action just yet. The Aussies, by comparison, have an average age of just under 26. There's Brad Ness, the oldest Aussie player, makes the basket count. Australia shooting the ball at 90% from the field.
Well, that's fantastic. Coach Ettridge would be very happy with that start.
Aladwani challenged by Misens. Been a great start to the game from Grant Misens. Outlet from Eveson up towards Hartnett. Good ball control.
Great skills by Mikey Hartnett there. Being a lower class classification player, he hasn't got the greatest balance, but he got that ball under control.
And Eveson throws it up from underneath the basket. Eveson and Ness, the 2 big players. They're both 4.5 classifications. They will do the bulk of the scoring. Michael Hartnett, a 1-point player, as Brendan said, and we should actually just mention and go through the classification system, Brendan. The coaching staff are allowed a maximum of 14 points on the court at any one time, and the players are graduated from 4.5 down to 1.
Yeah, that's correct. The players deemed to have minimal disability, they're classified as the highest, like the 4.5s, and those that might be paraplegic, they're lower classifications of 1 and 2.
So Michael Hartnett is a 1, Grant Misens is a 2, Brad Ness and Justin Eveson are 4.5s. There is Michael Hartnett. A few substitutions for the Australians.
The Australians have got a real mixture on there at the moment, as you can see.
Well, number 9 is Scott Crowley. He's just challenging the ball in the back of the court. Bill Latham's taking the court. He's a 4-point player, and there's an offensive foul called on Al Fadley. It's Bill Latham who was in trouble. He's the man that ended up on the floor. That is a heavy collision.
You can see there, he didn't have position. He turned his chair across into Bill Latham's lane, took him out, offensive foul.
And one of the other Aussie rookies, Sean Russell, also taking the court. He's a 4-point player, number 6. Look out for him.
This is great to see some of the rookies into the game so early, getting an opportunity.
Misens into Hartnett. The 2 low-pointers combining. Hartnett's shot rims out. Just a second blemish for the Aussies.
Great offensive rebound there to Grant. Second chance.
Here's Crowley in towards Latham. Knocked away from him. Hartnett chasing it down. Brilliant play from Michael Hartnett. No, it wasn't quite good enough. Not quite quick enough. I thought he tapped the ball back onto Alenzi's chair. Well, in fact, he did do that, but his wheel must have just been over the sideline when he did it.
Here's the replay. Great hustle by Mikey there. That's what the Rollers are all about. Never give up.
Nazir, the only point scorer for Kuwait. Does it again, snaps a run of 20 points for the Australians. And it's the first basket for Kuwait for 7 minutes.
Scott Crowley running the point there, dishes into Big Bill Latham under the basket.
Brendan Dowler in expert comments there, and good to see Bill Latham involved. There's Coach Ben Ettridge from Australia, just having a chat to his assistants. Bill Latham, the last man cut from the squad for the Beijing Paralympic Games last year. Very unlucky not to be part of that glorious team of 12, Brendan.
He was very unlucky. Bill came away on a couple of tours with us last year to Germany and the USA. He was a major part of the program, and unfortunately he missed out, but hey, he's got a lot of games for Australia ahead of him.
He's got over 50 already. So he's one of the experienced men in this team. This is Alenzi. 7 seconds on the shot clock. They're still a long way from home. Mohammed, he won't be shy from the perimeter. Rims out again. Crowley. What can the Australians work in transition? They lead by 18 at the moment. Hartnett's going to be wide open here. That's where the pass goes from Crowley. Can't get it to go.
Pass was perhaps just a little bit late for a low point to be able to pick that up and get his balance again. But good offense there by the Aussies, taking it to the basket.
Now going the other way, Aladwani passes into Nazir, the sharpshooter. Fading away from Latham, good defence there from the big man. Now he comes away with it. Again, the Australians in transition. Russell cruises by. Meisen's calling a play. Didn't quite get the screen he wanted from Latham. Then Latham ran out of court. Wasn't well executed there by the Aussies.
Yeah, no, just a little bit off there by the Aussies. They'll be looking to come down the court next time now and make amends.
First quarter, this Australian Rockers leading at 23-5.
There's a foul against Latham, I think. Pushing foul just came in from behind on Mohammed.
Trying to make up for the turnover, no doubt, out on the court, trying to do his best, trying to get a steal there and just went a little bit too far.
Yeah, just a bit over-eager. Was injured in a tractor accident as Michael Hartnett. That is brilliant. Unfortunately, it spilled out of court. But the anticipation from Hartnett was superb. Just always awake, a crucial member of the Australian team. And there's an offensive foul called at the other end. There's just so much action. You cannot take your eyes off the court for a second. And this is what we were talking about before, Brendan. Just when the player is even dead at one end of the court, you cannot. You must be continuing to fight for position.
Yeah, I believe that situation there, the player went into the key before the ball was handed to the player inbounding. That's a violation in wheelchair basketball. I suppose that's the combat players just parking themselves in the key and getting the inbound and just shooting the ball.
Timeout's been called by Australia. Here's their coach.
Sorry. Horns out of this. So Bill, your ball, Michael and Sean Russell. There, Scott Crowley, you're the inbounder. Grant Meisen, short corner. Yep. Into Bill, we're looking at it straight away, okay? If they jump, if they send something, which they probably won't do, but if they do, we want to try and pick that, but we want to hit without the ball in our hands, so you're going to use him in the short corner or this way, all right? But if they don't jump, hey, we'll shoot that, all right? Then after that, working aside back at the point, all right? Talk up your dog, talk up your sniff, all right? Remember, we don't need to steal the ball. We don't need to steal the ball, it's just chair pressure, okay? Let's go.
1, 2, 3,
Come on, good job.
Coach
Great
Ben
awareness.
Ettridge just setting up a play there, Brendan. I suppose the last couple of times down the court, they've been a little bit erratic, so he probably just wants them to get back on track.
Yeah, true. He just wants to put a bit of structure there, make sure they can get a good shot off. It has been a little bit erratic, as you say.
So Australia 23, Kuwait 5. Opening quarter of action here from Dandenong as Bill Latham shoots for 3. It's beautiful.
Sweet shot, big Billy Latham.
Don't recall him shooting too many three-point bombs in Sydney. Is that something that he's new that he's added to his game, Brendan?
I have seen him shoot a few threes before domestically in the domestic comp, but that's a big one for Australia.
And already the Kuwaitis in trouble fighting the shot clock, I should say. Aladwani misses. There's a referee's timeout because Nizar Muhammad has a problem with his chair by the looks of it. Well, in fact, he's him and Sean Russell are connected. The chairs have just locked together.
It's hard to believe they come together like that sometimes. The gaps are so small, but the force of these guys are coming together, and the offense and defense coming together makes them just get stuck.
Livy McGrath, what's happening at ground level as Nizar Muhammad just picks up his wheel and just gives it a little smooch. We might try Olivia again in a minute. Olivia, there, we've got you now.
Yes, I am. Hello. Well, Kuwait coach very animated at that timeout. He wants the guys to pass to their big man, number 5, Nizar Muhammad, who just had the wheelchair trouble. And also gave number 4, Fahad Al-Azeni, a bit of a talking to, saying pass to his friends, don't hog the ball.
And he just actually had a shot there, Liv, right on cue. So he didn't necessarily follow through on the coach's instructions, but I guess he had to. The shot clock was counting down. There, Fahad Al-Azeni, 33 years of age from Kuwait. And it's probably worth noting that Kuwait he's representing, they don't even have a national league. They've only got one team in Kuwait, one wheelchair basketball team. As Russell goes through, it was a beautiful pass there from Meisens, a well-executed play from the Aussies.
Nice finish there to Sean the Hustle Russell, as he likes to be known.
Oh, nice little behind-the-back tap from Al-Adwani at half-court. Gets the Kuwaitis going forward, but unfortunately, Al-Azeni just coughed it up under pressure from Russell. Now Meisens, can he control the high-bouncing ball? He can. Then the nice little pass to Crowley, who just waltzes in. Brilliant play, end-to-end stuff from the Aussies.
Great transition there from the Australians. Coach Ettridge will be very, very happy with that.
Here's Crowley as time counts down. Inside the key again, there was another turnover at half-court. Crowley makes the basket as time expires in the opening quarter. Yeah, one of the Kuwaiti players is in a little bit of trouble there. It's Hamad Al-Wani, but he'll be right. He'll just hop back into his chair. But I can tell you on the scoreboard, things are looking grim for the visiting Kuwaits. The hosts are not being particularly hospitable here in the opening quarter from Dandenong. It's Australia 32, Kuwait 5. So the second quarter's underway from Dandenong. The Kuwaitis certainly with a lot of work to do. Al-Adwani passes into Nazir, and Nazir is caught 3 seconds in the key. So it's a violation, it's a turnover. They've had 13 turnovers, Kuwait. Olivia McGrath is running the sidelines, and Liv, Australia 32, Kuwait 5. I imagine that Aussie coach Ben Ettridge was pretty happy at quarter time.
Yes, Aussie coach Ben Ettridge, very happy. I was with the Kuwait huddle, very vocal, back and forth, not just the coach talking, I have to say. Players not afraid to speak back. The coach wants them to step up defence, not to let the big Aussie guys in, and he wants his guys to pick up the pace. He's also given Nazir the directive to shoot the three-pointers.
So, all right, we'll look out for Nazir. Thanks, Liv. Yusuf Nazir, number 10. He's trapped on this right-hand side of court at the moment. Al-Adwani, 9 seconds on the shot clock again. He has a shot from the perimeter. He's the man that was told to pass it to his teammates, I think, in the first quarter. Or actually, that was Alenzi, number 4. So we'll watch for him. Jeremy Doyle's into the game. Long pass there to Russell. Can't get it to go. Cleaning up, though, is Deans. He sees his first action of the game, and it's a 2-point basket.
Great finish there by Deans. Coach Ettridge has got a lot of the rookies on at the moment. There'll be 4 rookies and Bill Latham, so he's gone with a very youthful team at the moment.
Yeah, watch out for number 11, Yannick Blair. He has the beautiful peroxide blonde hair, just at the moment setting a screen on Nazir. Al-Fadili as